Know It All Nation, what's good on a Thursday night? Interrupting your football game if you're looking at it. Right now, the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams, Rory's team. You can be with us because Rory with us, and the Rams are his team. Has been since 1987 when he saw him in London playing that stupid helmet that they have. But we'll talk about that later. We're here this evening. And this Thursday football thing, you know, I love football. We're really predicated around sports and football. We like to try and step outside the box sometimes and do some stuff different every now and then. So football will be over with on Thursday nights here in another couple of weeks. So we'll have Thursday nights without interrupting football in a few weeks. But we're here this evening. I'm here with the LGs, my LG boys. Y'all know what LG stand for?
Local geniuses.
Little geniuses, y'all my little fellas.
Oh, wow.
Hey Rory, I got you by a few months, bro. So you my little homie too.
Wow, that's not. I guess.
Oh, Stevie, you definitely the little homie, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm fine with it.
That is true.
The older I get, the less fine with it I feel, though.
Why? The older you get, the more fine you should feel about it because you're getting older and you're still the little homie to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess that's true. Yeah,
you never catch up,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I hope.
At least I hope. At least I hope.
Yeah.
Because
I hope you never catch up.
Yeah.
If I drop right here in this seat, you got about 13 years, and you got me. I ain't ready for that shit.
Neither am I.
Well, not that would imply that you keep going.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right.
Yeah. Come on, man.
But we don't want Tate to go anywhere.
Oh, appreciate it, man. I like that part of it. Thank you, sir.
He did curse at me earlier, though. So I mean,
that was backstage, though. That don't count backstage, man. And think about it. When I cursed or I cussed, it was really telling you what I would have said to Steven.
That is true. The caveats.
Which I would have felt nothing about because I tried to tell you PG County gave me a really tough skin, Rory. I don't think nothing about that. That's
George's.
Yeah, PG County.
Hey, if you're from there, are you allowed to call it PG County?
I am from here, born and raised. I'm currently in Prince George's County.
We don't need to get in that debate again. It's done. I mean, I think we established that one. We established that one.
Did y'all happen to see the Pivot podcast with Governor Westmore on there?
I did not.
I haven't seen it. I'm in Texas, dude. I got Abbott issues.
I did not know. I need to check that out.
Asking me about Westmore. Now Westmore is Jamaican, so you
miss
big ups to the state that is run by a Jamaican man. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like to see.
You miss old West, huh? Wait, you were gone before he became governor.
I was gone. Like one Jamaican goes, another one has to come and take over. You know what I'm saying? So
you know what? We won that trade. Hey man, come on! That's putting high value to say that, man. We lost you, but we got Westmore. We came up a little bit, but we came up.
Rory, I think what Tate is saying is you should just move back, bro. You should just move back.
He like it. He like it down there in the Lone Star.
I do not.
Oh, kind of hot. Oh, hot take.
Everybody running around, open carry.
We had a school outside our school yesterday. Like,
wow.
Outside your school?
Like it was across the street. Some I don't know what happened. The kids the kids tell stories and every story changes left and right. And I don't know. I heard it was just a gunshot into the air. Then I heard it was over a girl. Then I heard it was over this. I heard it was over that.
Oh, student on student or young person on young person.
Yeah, I have no clue, Kev, because there's so many stories.
It's outside your school. You don't know.
I mean, yeah. There's a taco place outside our school, and the kids will cut class to go to the taco place. And then there's also a park right next, behind the taco place, and the kids go and do stuff in the park. And then at the end of the day, some of the Joe Clark kids, as I would like to call them, they will
lean on me. Steven, are you old enough to remember the movie Lean on Me?
He doesn't know.
Yes, I do.
He doesn't know Lean on Me. Anyway,
Roy was in that movie.
He leans on all of his coworkers.
Lead on
movie.
me.
That is the whole movie. Joe Clark come in and just be a jerk to all of his coworkers for 2 hours. It's amazing. It is incredible.
That's
also,
all you got from the movie.
Also, Chef Kiss, the school at the beginning of it. I've seen some bad schools. I have never seen a school like that ever in my life. I was watching that like, where is this school at?
Patterson East Side. Let me explain, Stephen. That school was still bad with Joe Clark in that school. It was so bad that they had to get extras from the other schools.
Did you go to that school? You just went to a neighboring school.
Who, me?
Yeah.
How dare you, Kevin?
Oh well, you were in the movie though, right? You had a.
I was in the movie. Like, we got Catholic schools on the outskirts of this environment got recruited to play the kids because the kids were still bad. They were still bad. They couldn't trust them. So they used the Catholic school kids to pretend like we were the Patterson East Side kids.
That were nearby.
I mean, Patterson and Newark and East Orange, they're close. They're not that close. You know what I'm saying?
I know one thing. I do know because I do like to fact check movies like that. I do know that the general, like the entire plot of the movie is that they sent him to stop the state from taking over the school, and that ultimately in real life the state just took over the school. Because, like you said, things actually did not get better under him.
They did get better. They got better, but the kids were so low. They were so low.
Yeah.
Like he got into like imagine he got.
I mean, it's an entertaining movie.
Yeah.
But it's like you can't take it. Yeah, you can't like
middle school level.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's where they were. That's where they were.
They were so low that even a win was a loss.
Essentially, yes.
Exactly. And
they did a little Hollywood magic on that story.
They did, man. They sprinkled a lot of
palatable.
Stuff.
Yeah.
All right, we got the homie Afton in the live chat. Shout out, fellow know it all. Afton in the building.
Afton? What's going on?
My boy Pickens, you big dummy in the building.
What
A few
up,
other
Pickens?
people looking, but not in the live chat. So tonight's show, man, this is Steven's thing. So he's gonna carry on. I'm gonna put the two guys in the driver's seat. I'm gonna ride back seat shotgun and see what's going on when you need your shotgun. That's what shotgun is.
No,
see,
I'm not shotgun though. Am I? I don't be shotgun. I don't be shotgun.
Well, you know what? Act like you're in your home nation and you're in the driver's seat on that side. Where y'all drive backwards.
We drive the correct way. We had a functional road system first. You know.
Did you? You probably did because we came from y'all and came over here, and them bad people back then took over from the indigenous people and made a new country. And now we act like and America is great. I'm not saying that, but Columbus Day is a fraud though.
Agreed strongly. I mean, it's also good that we started talking about Maryland so much because that's actually where I want to start. Just to give you guys a preview, what we're going to focus on is something that I keep saying over and over again on this show is the internet is not real. And we're going to kind of tie that concept together relating to sports.
Wait, is Joe Clark in jail?
No, remember in the movie, he got
locked. Oh, yeah. Okay.
The chains on the
Reds. Shout out, Reds. 901 down in Tennessee. No more than me. Go ahead, Steve.
So we did talk about Baltimore, and I mean, Baltimore is a great place to start because Baltimore has a pretty interesting picture of what it actually is, especially online. And in like people like me who are local to Maryland, what we think Baltimore is. I'm curious, are you guys aware that this is under Mayor Brandon Scott? This is Baltimore's safest year in 50 years. They have double-digit decreases in crime across all levels. Nonviolent crime, violent crime, homicides, everything is down by 25% or more.
Well, why is the plan to send in the National Guard to take it over?
So that's exactly why I wanted to talk about this, is because the perception of Baltimore is that it's a war zone. And that when you look at certain media outlets reporting it, what they show you are images of riots that took place 8 years ago. You know what I mean? They don't show you what the city actually looks like today. And if you look at people who are covering it, today, people who are actually reaching out and talking to Mayor Scott, you see that Baltimore is turning itself around. Now, we're not really here to like talk about exactly what's causing that, why it's working, but it is important to realize that it's easy to get wrapped up in this idea that what you see online is real just because it looks like there's proof of it. If they show you images of people tearing down Baltimore, if you're not aware that those images are old, you may think that that's happening right now, and it could be easy to get wrapped up in that. And I think I do want to start off by keeping it light. I do want to talk about one person that is not related to sports, and that is, if you guys remember, do you guys remember the rapper B.O.B.?
He's still around, isn't he?
I mean, he's alive. He doesn't really have. I wouldn't say he has like an active career anymore. And that's actually.
He really didn't have an active career when he was active, though. But
he did.
That first album was
in 2000. So Kevin, in 2010, he had a global #1 hit. He was #1 on the U.S. Hot 100 and #1 on the UK Top 100. Nothing on you featuring Bruno Mars was the #1 hit. He was a huge star. He seemed like he was going to be a huge star at the time. And back then, during his rise, he decided one afternoon in 2016 to promote a bunch of flat Earth theories.
He was one of them.
And his fan base they turned on him like that. A lot of it's gone because Twitter is not what it was. But you could see it in real time, people turning on him. He wrecked his career because of what ended up being a public debate with Neil deGrasse Tyson over whether or not the earth was flat, which resulted in Neil deGrasse Tyson recording a diss track that is still on Spotify today. It's called Flat is Fact. But I thought that was an interesting segue because the person that we do want to talk about today is Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is a very, very interesting individual.
You better tread lightly, though.
He is, and you guys can chime in if you want, but I would say he's one of the top players in the league still right now. I would say top 20.
He's been hurt. He's hurt, but ain't played this year. Didn't play half of last year. He's a great all-time player. He might be top 25 still. When he's healthy, he's a guy.
When he's healthy, he's on the court, he's great.
When he's healthy, LeBron gets a ring.
He's been involved in some of this stuff too. I don't know if you guys remember this back in 2017 when he was still with the Cavs on a podcast with Channing Frye and who's the other player that
Richard Jefferson.
He made some pretty outrageous claims about the earth being flat. He said the earth is flat, it's flat, it's flat. He said those things. And he later apologized for it. About a year later, it didn't really sound like an apology to me. He kind of just said I was wrapped up in YouTube stuff, but he never really said I was wrong. You know what I mean? And he just kind of moved on with his career. It wasn't like the end of his career. It wasn't like B.O.B. where he didn't get to be a star anymore. It was just, he just said it and people were like, oh, and I think ultimately that's a big generational gap that you see there, is that the fans of Kyrie may be a little bit younger and that they may be more accepting of conspiracies in general. But I think it is important to talk about Kyrie as a guy, like what his upbringing is, why he seems to be such a, I don't even know how to describe it, like a peculiar individual.
Eccentric. He's eccentric.
He's very eccentric. I mean, he did grow up. He was born in Australia. And he lived in Australia until he was 2 years old. His father was a professional basketball player in Australia, which means that he had some exposure to fame and celebrity very early in his life. Unfortunately, his mother passed away when he was 4. His father remarried, but when he came to the United States, I think there is something to say about a child who grows up with any type of athlete, professional athlete as their parent. They're definitely going to be exposed to different types of lifestyles that the average kid is not going to be, even if it's in a different country and they're not playing in the NBA. You know what I mean? Would you guys agree with that, or?
I would agree. I mean, it's a different level of exposure, different type of exposure. I mean, you see some of these guys. I mean, Kobe Bryant was one of those kids, right?
Yep.
I mean, Steph Curry grew up with his dad played in the NBA. He was exposed. He's, he grew up around some of the game's greats, and now he's among the game's greats. But yeah, so I think there's a different level of exposure and just things you see and witness, even if it's just learning how to prepare yourself for that or to strive to be there, to be that. You get an inside look at things.
Right.
I mean, I think it's like a wash to a certain extent. I think, there's exposure, of course, like different people. But I think if you're using Steph as an example, it's I mean, I don't know about the anecdote on that. I mean, it means like it can go either way in regards to exposure, and it's who you're exposed to. It could be like your educational level, what you're learning. Are you propped up at a very young age as a superstar? I mean, I don't think Steph was a superstar in high school, was he? I mean, he was okay. He was good.
Yeah, no, he went to Davis. He was good. I'm not talking about just from an athletic standpoint, but how many cities you think he went to as a young person? Because his dad.
I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying along lines of, what you're exposed to kind of thing, and it's like what outside of your family. I mean, and I don't know. I think
that's a direct line to exposure.
Mm-hmm.
To me, sounds like you're talking from an athletic perspective, right? I'm saying just because your dad's a professional athlete, Kyrie was born in Australia, not because they live in Australia, because his dad went to Australia to play basketball. Which is how Kobe,
he's like a D-League athlete. I mean, he did.
Yes, I think, and Kevin, I think you're bringing up a good point. A good juxtaposition is Kobe. Regardless of some other stuff that happened, he never seemed to have any problems carrying the celebrity and the fame part of being.
He threw Shaq under the bus.
I mean, that's more personal than him like cracking under stress. That was they had a real personal beef. He thought Shaq was lazy, and he was right.
No, I'm talking about a whole nother event.
You're talking about breaking the bro code. That, and again, that's just all emotion and person.
But that's exposure too. Because he grew up in Australia, he didn't grow up in the hood. He don't know the bro code.
He don't know the bro code.
So he wasn't exposed to that. He was growing up with little Italian boys eating spaghetti.
I mean, Paul Gasol didn't know the bro code. Like, he wasn't like
he Kobe in trouble. Yeah.
Right. So he
grew up in Spain. So what we're saying is Europeans don't know the bro code.
That's one of the things we want to check.
Are we gonna say those people on the peninsula, maybe? You know what I'm saying? The Peninsulares don't know the bro code. I mean,
so what? That's Italy,
Italianos, Spain and Portugal.
Spain,
those people. You know what I'm saying?
They are peninsula countries, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I think ultimately it does have a major effect on the type of person you grow into when you're exposed to fame at a young age. I think there's a lot of examples of that going the wrong way. And there's plenty of examples.
Michael Jordan's kids.
Yeah, and there's other instances of it going, not like in Bill Cosby's kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like that, like, so like
Bill Cosby had some good ones in there.
He did. True. But I mean, ultimately it speaks to, what that person turns into. Oh yeah. Wow. So I think ultimately we do want to talk about Kyrie and his ascent to the league. I think he came in as a guy who was pretty respected for his level of intelligence and maturity when he came in the league. Would you agree with that?
Who?
Kyrie, that he was somebody who was perceived as one of the more, intellectual type of guys.
I wouldn't say that.
No,
I wouldn't say that either. I mean,
so
he went to Duke. I ain't saying he wasn't smart, but he
went to Duke. He went to Duke.
Okay. So the maturity, you think that, okay. So I think a lot of the maturity leads to, him becoming just like one of the most active philanthropists that's like a current player. I mean, the guy donates to tons of foundations. I mean, he was one of the major donators to the Tamir Rice Foundation, SRI Foundation support. He donated a house to the family of George Floyd. You guys can give more examples, but again, do you think? I think being a child of a professional basketball player lends itself to that type of attitude and behavior. If you come up in, I think in some instances, if you come up in a certain level of privilege, it makes it easier to share. Some people, that's what it turns them into. And I think that's, one of the good things that Kyrie got is that he doesn't have a problem, taking a stance on social issues and saying, I'm going to put my money up on this to back it up.
Shout out Big E Bronco. Is there a question in that? I mean, because
I think no, there isn't a question because it leads directly into the stuff that Rory doesn't want to talk about, which is
I would only say with Kyrie, or not just Kyrie, in general, that level of exposure, it can cut two ways, right? Because you got some people that are entitled that are privileged growing up, and they don't take it and turn it to good. They take it and turn it into mine. And I earned this. You didn't earn it. You were born into it. And they don't want to help and share and help pull on the rope for the greater society, right? I mean, we with the 1%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The 1% right now. They could care less that at the end of the month, people healthcare are going to be affected and premiums going to go up. And because of that, people could potentially die because they can't afford to get the treatments and stuff they need. There are people that got plenty. I think last I heard, like 1% of the U.S. population has like 90% of the net worth, the income in the country.
That would
Some
be
crazy number like that.
Yeah, that's about right.
I would say probably isn't it like 70% or 1%?
No. It's actually
crazy. Right.
It's actually way closer to 100% than most.
Yeah, I was about to say it might be 99%, but I just went down to 90.
Really close to 100%, which is insane. When you talk about how much the GDP of the country is like, it's like splitting up. It's like 10 people saying we're going to take trillions and you can fight over the last billion.
Yeah, that's always been the case in the U.S.
Yeah. Well, but I think Kevin, you bring up some good points, but I think it has to mean something because a guy who's willing to put himself out there and put his money up like that is saying something about how like who he is at a core. You know what I mean? And I think that's what strikes me as the conflict when I think about a person like Kyrie, because when you get up to, the controversy that he had with the anti-Semitic comments that he didn't make anti-Semitic comments.
Tell us about it. Not everybody knows.
Okay, so
I'm going to forget, but not everybody knows. Just
okay, so ultimately, what Kyrie did was he watched a documentary on Amazon called "Negroes to Hebrews," and it's essentially a propaganda film. It's filled with misinformation, and it does have a lot of anti-Semitic ideas in it.
You get that on the news every day now.
Very true. But he shared a link to the video, to the movie on his Twitter page, and which out of context, I guess, isn't necessarily a crime or terrible or anything like that. But then people started asking him about it and he just ignored them. And then when he was confronted about it, he had a very, very poor press conference, which he talked about having an army of people behind him and he knows his truths. And it ultimately led to him getting suspended from the league for 5 games. What we found out later, and a lot of fans were upset that the team didn't act sooner. What we found out later was the owner, Josiah, was trying to give him time to think about things and maybe apologize on his own, and he didn't. He was ultimately suspended. He was given a list of things he had to do to be reinstated, which he did, which included donating some of them. I'm not going to name all of them, but it included donating $500,000 to anti-hate groups and issuing a public apology, which he did do. But I think that entire incident, he
did that to get back to the bag, though.
Well, yeah,
he was going to be suspended without pay till he did that.
Oh, I was not aware of that there was going to be an indefinite suspension. But yeah, so I think ultimately, if you're looking at the man and the way he handled that situation, it doesn't look very good. if you link it back to the original flat Earth proclamations, he just kind of seems like a guy who can be manipulated by like simple, deceptive arguments. And
that's three quarters of America, though.
I would agree, but I think for me, the part that I struggle with is he's not like that on other things. A guy who helps establish
people are duped and fooled. People are duped and fooled by things they want to be duped and fooled about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Kyrie. I hate to say, I think you're giving Kyrie too many props. You're talking about the Dunning-Kruger effect, and I think Kyrie is a prime example of that because
what effect?
Do you want me to? I'll break it down. Dunning-Kruger effect is pretty. Yeah, go ahead, Bray.
It's just like dumb people think they're smart. You know what I'm saying? And smart people, they think they don't think they're smart enough. So you got this weird power. I'm really smart.
So essentially, a low skill person approaching a skill that they are low skill in can be overconfident about what it takes to be an expert in that field. That's one half of it. The other half is exactly
politicians do that. Some of them do.
Experts can underestimate how skilled they actually are. They may assume that things are easy that are not. And conversely, because of that, they may then be overconfident in their ability to tackle skills that they are low skilled in. It's actually kind of a weird trap that everybody gets in, and it's all about overconfidence. And I think that more than it summarizes Kyrie into a nice little neat box.
Well, I want to hear what Rory was going to finish saying about his take. Yeah. You're a Kyrie lover, obviously.
I mean, I just have I have loyalty to him because he is he grew up in West Orange, and that's the Essex County, New Jersey, which you like Tretch from. You like Tretch too, huh?
From Naughty by Nature.
Naughty by Nature.
They're EO boys. So let's get back to the point. And I need to tell you that Kyrie has been, I don't know him personally, but I'm sure he's had an insular world, right? Where everyone's kind of, oh, Kyrie. And as a result, he hasn't had to be fully educated. He went to Duke for what, 10 minutes? You know what I'm saying? An hour? And that's his claim. I mean, I'm not bashing him, but he has a high school education, maybe. You know what I'm saying? And so he's going to be easily led to, like you said, Kev, probably 3/4 of the United States. He's going to be led down rabbit holes left and right and he's going to try to compensate for the fact that he doesn't really have the, I don't want to bash him, the educational acumen, to take on big topics. And he's going to, whoever's, he watches on something online, he's going to go, yep, that's the truth. That's just kind of, that's 3/4 of America. I don't want to, maybe not 3/4. I think you're being unfair by saying that. I would say a third. I'd say a third.
Oh, way more than that.
I'd say a third. But he's gone down so many rabbit holes, conspiracy theories. I mean, he didn't want to take the vaccine, right? What was the other thing? I remember hearing something about Satan or something. The vaccine is trying to get black people to go towards Satan or something. Like he's posting.
That was part of that. That was actually part of the.
That was Kyrie, right?
The documentary. Yeah, that was part of that documentary. It was the claim that Jewish people believe we're worshiping Satan and stuff. Right. It's just
see that's the point. See, he can go down those rabbit holes because he, flat Earth. He was an Alex Jones fan at one point. So so I think Stephen talked about the philanthropy, and I think that philanthropy is. That he has just good agents. He has a good agent. His agent's like, hey, dude, you've gone down some crazy rabbit holes.
I disagree with that, Rory. I disagree with that, man.
I think you need to take on some causes. That's what I believe. I'm trying to tell
you wouldn't stand on that stuff.
It's publicity.
You wouldn't stand on that stuff if you don't actually believe it, because it was divisive for him to come out in support of the Tamir Rice Foundation, because everything surrounding all of that stuff.
I'm not disputing that, but it's good publicity for him still. It's still good. Still good publicity. I think it's a win-win for him.
If that's the case, and you're saying pretty much all athletes and entertainers and people that are in famous circles do it for publicity. I mean, some people have different interests and causes they want to take up.
disputing that. I'm not disputing that. But I'm just saying I think like he's gone down so many bad rabbit holes in his in his short time on Earth that he needs a publicist to try to reach it.
He's young and immature, but I think his IQ is probably higher than his education level is, right? I mean, IQ is your natural ability to process and think and those things.
I don't think he just. I just think he's overcompensating because he just doesn't know certain things. He just doesn't know, and that's okay not to know. And then someone tells him, and he like takes it in 100. Like, oh yeah, I believe what I just saw.
I know of an individual in the highest office in the land, right? Who don't know certain things, and he don't say he don't know certain things. He just go ahead.
We're not doing that, Kev. We're not doing that.
You just talking about Abbott. That's Abbott boy.
Okay, you can talk about Abbott. You can talk about Abbott. Yeah, talk about Abbott. I think you talk about someone else. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
No, I'm saying I'm talking about Abbott's boy. But yeah, not much different than what you're saying about Kyrie. He don't know stuff, and damn not knowing.
Doesn't know stuff, man.
And see, Rory, I think it's irresponsible for us to just. I think ultimately we're to blame for not handcuffing him to explaining himself on that flat Earth stuff. He never actually said I was wrong. He never said that, which means that when it's
initially he said he was kidding.
He said he was, but I wish we could.
I'm just saying, like I remember,
but he didn't. He never said I was wrong. Kidding. He said I apologize to the teachers who came up to me and said they had to reteach their classes, but he never said I was wrong about flat Earth. He didn't say that. He said I should have saved those comments for intimate spaces. Again, in my opinion, if you my friend and you say some stupid shit like that, I have to check you. I have to be like, yo, you're wrong. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, you're rich.
Your friend don't have to say to you, yeah, you right, I'm wrong. You don't have to say that.
Who do you think his friends are around him? That's the other thing too.
Clearly not anybody that's doing that.
They're probably in the same boat as him in regards to
he got the same friends, just like the same cabinet we got. A whole bunch of yes men, probably.
Yep.
You know what cabinet I'm talking about, Rory?
Yeah.
Whole bunch of yes men that know you wrong. No, they should say, sir, you're wrong about that. They don't do that though. And Kyrie probably got a circle of friends that may not do that either.
Mm-hmm. And that's the point I'm making. Like that's why I think he has a good agent and publicist. That's what I'm saying.
But it don't mean them causes don't mean nothing to him, though. Rory.
He could be taken down that rabbit hole too. Kyrie.
You think
you need to take on this?
You think that caring? Hold on, wait a minute. You think that social causes are a rabbit hole?
No, I'm saying like they could convince him. It's like he was convinced that the Earth was flat at one point, or that or that our vaccines were leading us to Satan. I mean, like that's if you could be led to believe that the vaccines are somehow linking us to Satan, then you could be led down anywhere at that point. That's just my belief.
But you think that that's okay? You don't think we should criticize that at all? You don't think somebody should say, hey, you are a person with a huge platform, a lot of impressionable people following you, and the things that you say have impact. The things he said about flat Earth had impact. That was real. Kids were like, yeah.
To say that is to attack Kyrie for what a lot of people do in their space. A lot of people say stuff and don't apologize. I sat up and listened to a whole bunch of lies last night. Nobody gonna come apologize about that. I mean,
I don't necessarily think that that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that seems pretty defeatist to be like, that's the world we live in. Because guys, in 2017 we used intellect to take down a stupid rapper. We said no. B.O.B. said the Earth is flat, and everybody collectively said no, that's stupid. And you don't get to be a star anymore. How did we get that far away from this?
Did that kill B.O.B.'s career? Did his music and no longer making anymore kill his career? I think Kyrie was still making buckets.
Well, Kyrie did, and I think you made a really good point, Kevin. Kyrie did everything he needed to do on that list so he could keep his bag. And Kyrie seems to know where the line is or where he needs to pull back.
He's lost contract. He doesn't know.
Well, yeah, he lost a Nike contract on that, but I don't think he's hurting because of that.
Listen, but he's losing. I don't think he's. I don't.
You know what I mean? And I think ultimately that's what separates him from a guy like Kanye West, who does not care.
That's what I want to hear you talk about.
He does not care at all. Kanye will say whatever he wants, and he will burn down his own empire to say that stuff. You know what I mean?
So I believe more strongly in that guy that did Kyrie did. When you use the example, Kyrie checked the boxes and did what the commissioner said, so he get back to his bag. And you saying Kanye will let his shit burn?
We watched him do it. We watched him let the empire. He burned up billions of dollars. He burned up deals he had worked his whole life to get with those designer companies to get in their shops and have all this stuff in there like that. Poof. Because why? Because you watch something online and now you think Nazism is cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like
But Kanye made his bag though. You know what I'm saying? Kanye made his bag.
He did make his bag.
He had when you have this, you can, and someone says, we ain't giving you a 20th bag, Kanye. Kanye's like, okay.
Okay.
He had 19 bags. He had 19 big full bags. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't care if he loses, 3 or 4 bags. Like, Kanye is so rich. I mean, he acts like he's broke. Was he broke at one point? Wasn't he broke?
No, not any time.
Was that real? Remember that?
No.
Remember that?
No. He tried to claim that he was broke when he did his first fashion show. He tried to say he went broke, but he wasn't broke.
There is no way I couldn't.
He wasn't broke. I
what
mean,
was he spending his money on?
What happened was, so there was a moment, and it was between
$2.75 billion net worth.
Net worth, right? He did have a situation where that first fashion show that he did that failed. He was so focused on that the album was bad when it came out. You know what I mean? So
that's just a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
From
the fashion show, distracting from his music.
Exactly, and it put him in a position where he couldn't do the things he wanted to do. He wasn't broke; he just couldn't spend millions of dollars.
I got a little secret for you, man. If you got $2.75 billion, you can do whatever you want to do.
Well, and let's be clear: that billion that's more recent money. That is the deals that he did with Adidas and Gap and all of that stuff. That's not. He hasn't been a billionaire this whole time. Like that is. And I mean, it speaks to how much business savvy he has, how much he understands, like how like fashion markets move and stuff like that. He seems to be plugged in there. But the guy says crazy stuff on the regular, just absolutely crazy stuff, and no one has ever checked him for it, ever. And now we're at a point where
it's just like a niche market that he somehow like his shoes are ugly. His shoes, I don't get.
People buy them. They weigh like buy them.
Sense is in my. I'm saying in my I'm wearing a hoodie. You know what I'm saying? I'm wearing a hoodie, but his fashion sense is booty. Yeah.
2.8 billion says his fashion sense not booty. 2.8 billion says your fashion sense booty.
You're right. That's why.
And what I'd say is, I think he cares about fashion, but he cares. He knows he drives the fashion. No, he knows he can put on some BS and say, "Oh, this that fresh new yay," and everybody gonna go get it.
And they go buy it. You know what I mean? Like the internet ain't real, but if people believe in that, they believe in Kanye. He's a niche market. He has if you said, "Hey, here's some Yeezys, Rory," I'm not wearing them. I think that the ugliest shoe on all the Yeezys are ugly.
I think
wouldn't wear them.
The big difference.
Free ones. I don't want them. I'm good.
If we're talking about Kyrie and Kanye, I think the big difference is Kanye got to a level of income where he did not have to care anymore.
Yeah,
he really did. He got to a level of income where he literally, like the leader of the free world, could say and do whatever he wants, and he still has such a loyal base of fans that it doesn't matter.
He said things about black people that like made my heart hurt. You know what I'm saying?
What made my heart hurt is he was fraternizing with the leader of the free world. But the difference is Kanye came from nothing and earned his. His mom was a teacher. Single mom was a teacher. Some of us, leader of the free world, was born into money and want to act like they pulled themselves up by their bootstraps and they made it by building buildings and doing this and doing that. Not true. So, mad respect to Kanye, even though I don't agree with you on some of the stuff you say. I respect what you do. Not how you do it, but what
he has achieved. What has he achieved?
What
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
What he has achieved.
I think an interesting thing about Kanye is I think if you really do examine him, he is who he was going to be no matter what. And when you talk about, you said that who are the people around Kyrie, right? We could ask that same question about Kanye, but with Kanye, there's a documentary that shows us who the people were around Kanye as he ascended to fame. He had level heads around him. It did not matter. He is an egomaniac. You know what I mean? He had people around him saying, hey, man, I think maybe you're feeling yourself a little bit too much. You are amazing. You're talented, but you shouldn't be walking around saying you're a genius to people. That's that sounds wrong. You know what I mean?
But you know what? You don't respect the fact that if he feels like that, he says that. And shout out to the homie Jay-Z, who was one of the homies trying to, pump your brakes a little bit, bro.
So I'll say this, Kevin. I do respect Kanye's obsession and his drive to accomplish things, right? I do respect that. That is something that I don't have and I will never have. And it's a thing that I can respect. Somebody who can be driven to get a thing that they can't really see the finish line to it or anything. Like I have a lot of respect for that. But I have a problem with somebody who's not self-aware. And I used to think that I used to be a huge Ye fan just of the person. I thought he was a cool dude. And when you start to peel back the layers, I was like, man, it was like, here's my best example. It's like when I realized DJ Khaled actually believed the stuff he was saying. For years, I thought it was a joke. I thought DJ Khaled was in on the joke, that he was saying all that crazy stuff just because it was funny. And then, you realize, wait a minute, no, he's not self-aware. He actually believes the stuff he's saying. With Kanye, it was like, yo, this is like, he's been saying this stuff in my face and I just ignored it. You know what I mean? Because I was like, nah, he's super talented. But I think we're bringing it back to Kyrie, it's important for someone to step up and say something, whether or not it works. Kanye had his people around him that were trying to bring him back down to space, and he just kind of pushed those people out of his life, and picking up on what Kevin said.
Who pushed the people out of whose life?
Kanye pushed the guy who actually produced that documentary was Kanye's former best friend. And he got to a point where, he was telling him, he was trying to, keep him grounded and stuff like that. And he just didn't want those type of people around him anymore. And I think it's really funny. You talk about Jay-Z being one of the guys early in his career, kind of being like, hey, pump your brakes, man. When he's trying to he's trying to tell him, you're talented. You're just, you're doing this wrong. Kind of like his friends were like, you're not going, I think with Kanye, the problem is he kept being successful. He did things his way and he kept succeeding. He kept making a lot of money. He made money for other people. Other people were willing to put up with that because he makes money for them. And then he becomes the monster that there's no turning back. And what I mean to say is, I don't think that Kyrie is that much different from Kanye. I think if Kyrie had Kanye money, he would be the same guy. I think that the fact that no one intervenes, that we just let Kyrie get away with saying all this stuff, doing all these things that are kind of,
The question to me would be then if Kyrie had got away with what he said with no pushback, no ramification, would he be a better basketball player? Would he be more marketable with people? Like, would he be like, because I mean, keep in mind, people like guys that are not guys. I mean, people like people that are genuinely 100% themselves, with no disregard. You know what I mean? Unequivocally themselves. I mean, how'd that work out for Allen Iverson? Allen Iverson made some bad business decisions, lost money, but somebody told him to sign a trust with Reebok. Allen Iverson gets money off his name, but Allen Iverson's best known as a great basketball player and the guy that broke the mold of the traditional, corporate straight lace we want to turn basketball to this. He broke that mold.
Very true. Very true.
He's best known. Allen Iverson is probably more revered and known for keeping it real, being himself through it all than he is for basketball. He might be a top 25 to 30 basketball player, but as a sports icon, sports culture, he's higher up on that list.
He's probably number one.
Just like Tupac and rap. Tupac not the greatest rapper, but Tupac is revered. He will always be in somebody's top 10, and you may not have even heard him or listened to him. But it's because of the legacy he left for how he presented and was himself. Not even presented himself, how he was always himself.
Very true. Very true. I think that's an excellent point, and I ultimately do kind of like those people who I perceive as genuine. But I think with Kanye, he wasn't a genuine guy. He just wasn't. You know what I mean? We just were shielded from a lot of.
You think he wasn't genuine? You think that crazy dude's not a crazy dude?
No, I don't think he was being 100% genuine. I mean, the type of stuff that he says and does now, I don't even listen to his music because, like, he's talking about a guy who say he would piss on.
His music is not as good to me. His music is not as good to me as it was.
Yeah, some of it's all right. I mean, but like, it's not. To me, it's like I can't support a person like that. I can't support somebody, and it's beyond like social stuff. It's like Virgil Abloh was supposed to be his best friend, and after the guy dies, you talking about you would piss on his grave because you mad at him about a job that you perceive he stole from you.
You definitely don't like Diddy. Then have you watched the documentary yet?
Not the whole thing.
Oh, you're gonna hate Diddy because Diddy took Bad Boy literally from his boy. Like, hey, I need you to sign these papers. Give me your 25%. I'm trying to make this deal. I give it back. And Diddy never gave it back. And his friend was homeless and live on the street. His boy. Diddy ain't looked back. You gotta watch that, man. So, like I said, if you ain't like Kanye for whatever he talking about was his best friend, oh, you hate Diddy.
Yeah. So I think this is kind of a good juncture to kind of pull it all together. I mean, ultimately, the point I wanted to make is that these two guys, Kanye may be outside the mold because his music was just so popular. He was going to have huge reach anyway. But the type of stuff that the type of rabbit holes that Kyrie went down are not possible without social media and these kind of these echo chambers that we've created where content is just created with no checks or balances. There's no way if Kyrie's taught from a young age to not trust what he sees on the internet, not necessarily not trust everything people says, then maybe it's a little bit harder for him to be taken advantage of. You know what I mean?
I was taught that at every level of my existence. You know what I mean? So it's through the people you're exposed to, teachers. And I think that is, once again, over and over again, that's his failing.
I would 100% agree with you, Rory.
Have you checked your source? Like, that was something I was taught as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Have you checked your source? Have you checked your source? Have you? So somehow he went by all that. Somehow he got by. He graduated high school. He graduated middle school. He went to his 1 year or so at Duke. And at no point did he have to check a single source because he didn't know to check a source.
What'd you say, Tate? Oh, flag on the play. You muted, Tate.
Oh, my bad. I said Kanye probably about 32, 33 years old.
Kanye or Kyrie?
I'm Kyrie.
Yeah, Kyrie is 33.
Okay, so I'm guessing if he grew up at the inception of the boom, right? Of the boom of the media, the internet, the social media.
He grew up in that. He's in my generation, but he's like right at the tail end. He's where when kids grew up, there was already social media. There was Facebook and Twitter were already.
People were warning him but he didn't care about the warnings, and that's a very scary thing. That means he's so insular that he doesn't have to worry about and no one's checking him. No one's checking him. So I didn't feel that's who he is. That's who he is. It's not a bad thing. It's just that people, there's no one to check him.
We are what we are and what people, those close to us, allow us to be, right? I mean, if you're a kid and you get away with murder from your parents, then you're gonna go through life thinking you can get away with murder. You know what I mean? If there's not consequences to actions from an early age, you grow up thinking like consequences don't apply to you.
Right. And he thought a lot of himself. I mean, his ego was a good thing. I mean, I remember, have you seen those videos where I think during the Olympics and everything where they were doing like scrimmages and just trash talking with Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's one of the. I love that video.
That's ego.
Ego,
you know
like he's Kobe.
ego.
He said,
he's like, what are you calm down, young man, calm down. He's like,
because Kobe in his prime, right? This got to be like the 16 Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
And Kobe said, man, go on, kid. He said, what you talking about? I ain't no kid. I'm 18. Kobe said, you just got a high school kid. He said, oh, you think you can beat me? Hey, you ain't ready for this, Kobe.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's that confidence, though.
Yeah. Too. No one. And if you want him to succeed, you just let him do his, like, he's got to believe in himself. And I think that's who he is. That's been his.
And I think more differently in sports, that's a good thing. In athletics, that's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, if you take what you take onto the field, off the field, it's diluted. Then it's different because you got to be able to separate the two.
So that's what I'm about to ask. How do you teach a child how to separate the two? If we're saying that, and we do this already, youth sports is about teaching kids how to win and stuff like that. It's about separating the strong.
How to participate. We had this discussion before too about the ribbons and
okay. Are we in Texas or are we in Maryland? If we're in Texas or Maryland, youth sports is not about no participation. You can't play youth basketball in the state of Maryland and be bad. You got to be good. You might get a participation trophy, but like I was explaining to y'all, that participation trophy means don't come back next year. It's Bamas that are better. That's
still a nice way of saying don't come back next year. You got to participate post night instead of going home with nothing. That's what we got. You lost. You didn't place.
Okay.
I always had something, Kev. I always had something. I always had
nothing. So I think
try again next year, maybe.
I agree with you. I agree with you. To be a good athlete, it is good to learn how to win and go for it and all that stuff. But like, these coaches are failing at teaching the kids the other part of that, which is you need to know how to lose and you need to know how to, like all you end up with is a bunch of Bamas that are like overconfident. You know what I'm saying? And some of them probably shouldn't even be on the field or on the court. So like I don't know where the middle ground is. That's the part that I struggle with is like, should that be a part of the classes? And maybe that's a different conversation.
You are. I hate to say this now. As a current coach, you're out of touch. The world has changed. It's drastically changed.
As far as what? Tell us how. What are you talking about?
In regards to these athletes, I mean, I'm not going to say any schools, but I didn't say that. No, I'm just saying.
The name of your school, but your school.
I'm not going to say that. I'm just saying that the athletes. There are the kids whose egos are fed, and they get the trade.
Parents are different too because of that.
Yes, and the parents who are hyper focused on, I'm getting this kid to the next level, and there's fewer of those kids, and there's a lot of the other kids who have ego that don't have the ability of the other kids, and that's where we are right now. And those kids who get humbled are never humbled. You know what I'm saying? Like they can get trounced, and they still think the same thing. I'm like, this is real. This is real. And something changed. Like there were kids who they got trounced. Either they were going to improve and figure out how the other kid got to where they are and try to get that level. That was my generation. This generation, they're going to.
I strongly disagree. Okay. I mean, I can't. Like, I'm not gonna. If you're anywhere close to the AAU basketball programs in this state, or you know anything about private school, high school basketball, or even high school basketball in Prince George's County, ain't nobody getting no participation trophies. Ain't no scrubs on the court because the guys that are playing here are going to the league. So like not everybody, but you understand what I'm saying? You don't get guys going to the league if there's a bunch of scrubs playing with you.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
And we not
like
the idea that we've graduated beyond this idea that we have these kind of like pro level or college level like programs at the high school level is that's still happening.
I said
that's still happening.
There are parents who invest in their kid who has talent, and that kid is going to have the Kyrie ego. They deserve it because they are a superlative athlete. But then there are athletes who have the Kyrie ego without the Kyrie talent. That's where we are. We have a lot of that right now, and people are getting trounced. Like if you see, like state of Texas, for example, there's a lot of talent, but you see people just rising to the top because some people, the kids today, don't realize the hard work that has to go into being that other human being. They feel as though they can do what they're doing because they have the ego, and coaches just deal with this. The coaches like kids don't show up for practice. Kids who talk back to coaches, kids who it's a crazy world. Coach, I don't know. Coaches, kids are holding schools hostage now. Kids who have mediocre talent at best are holding coaches hostage because they need them to fill teams.
Coaches allowed them to do that. When did a player become bigger than the program? That's on the coaches.
I agree, Kev. I'm just saying like the things have changed too. Things have changed. Things have changed.
Things have changed, and you got to keep in mind when we talking to Steven too. Even between us, there's a generational difference between the two of us and Steven.
But I'm telling you that I played in our generation, right?
Right.
And I've coached through all the others. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I've coached through all the others.
Lots of perspective.
And perspective of other states too. So Maryland, New Jersey, Ohio, Vermont. I mean, I'm seeing. Now Texas, Nevada, you know what I'm saying? I'm from all the places I've been, I'm seeing this change slowly creep in. And I see like certain people rise to the top.
Systemically everywhere, no matter where you at.
Yeah, it's happening. It's happening. Well, that's just about it could be my anecdote, you know what I'm saying, from my experiences.
I was about to say it feels really out. Maybe mine is anecdotal too, because I just seen how cutthroat them kids are, and I've seen what these private schools are doing to try to get competitive kids. There's not talent everywhere, but like it is nobody. I'm just saying, is nobody receiving no participation trophies in high school basketball in Maryland? Nobody's receiving no participation trophies. You got to be, unless you're at a school that is just fielding a team so other teams can trounce you. Like you're not getting, if you're on a team that's competitive, you are good.
Well,
and it's the same with football. You're not getting on no football team in Prince George's County unless you're good.
As a person that taught and coached in Anne Arundel County, I'm going to tell you that on the
that's
basketball
not Prince George's County. The water is different.
Okay, well, let me finish. Let me finish what I have to say. Well, we had a team at my school that went to like the state finals, and they were and those kids were trouncing your Prince George's Prince George's County kids left and right. And I'm going to tell you right now, those kids, one of them had our coach hostage. I'm not going to put any business in the street. He had him hostage. That's it. And on that same team was.
I think that's always been a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not generational. That's always been a thing. If you're good enough, to me, that's on the coach. I mean, you pick the players you want part of your program. If you give that athlete, that individual, that type of hold over you, then that's on you.
I remember. What you just said kind of echoes that. Remember the Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick story with Lawrence Taylor?
What about it?
So Belichick was the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I remember that. I know that.
And like Lawrence Taylor came into the team meeting late, and Belichick went to Parcells and said, "Hey, Parcells, I want to make sure you know this. Lawrence Taylor came in the meeting 30 minutes late." And then Parcells was like, "Why you start the meeting before him? You got there." So it was like
what happened?
Lawrence Taylor held. He held.
You You talking about Lawrence Taylor, and you brought up some high school player, whatever, in Anne Arundel County.
I'm just saying, like, at different levels, people.
Jimmy Johnson said the same thing. A guy fell asleep in one of his film sessions when he coached the Dallas Cowboys. Fell asleep, put the guy out. You cut. Michael Irvin fell asleep. He said, "What'd you do if Michael Irvin fell asleep?" So I go wake him up. I mean, there's levels to this. There's levels to everything.
So that's what I'm not understanding, Rory. Like, I could imagine, like, if like the coach of the team is somebody's dad or something like that, and that player is mediocre, and somehow they keep being propped up. Like, I've seen that happen. That's actually been a thing. I've seen that happen actually, but like, that doesn't happen that often. You know what I mean? Not at least not around here. Like I said, the teams are so competitive. Like, if you are really trying to win, you can't afford to let scrubs on your team. You just can't.
I'm not about scrubs. I'm talking about, like, a complete package of being,
what I mean to say by scrubs is,
like,
just because I'm interested in football or basketball doesn't mean you let me on the team. You're not gonna let me on the team. I'm not physically gifted to play the sport. You're
not good enough, but a team basketball typically has 12 guys. So guy 11 and 12, they participate. You know what I'm saying?
I'm arguing is
to make the team, but we don't need you.
But this is what I'm saying. Guy 11 and 12, not me. And they never going to be me. They're not going to just give me a spot on the team. That's what I'm arguing.
They pick 11 and 12. They could have been the same team. They picked 13 or 14 and told 11 12 to go. That's what I'm saying. They're always going to be the back half of the bench.
Agreed.
But you're going to be the same team that I don't need you guys. When those guys feel entitled, you got problems.
Right. And I agree with. But I guess really I would need to actually, we need more concrete evidence.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, we need like specific. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm triggered
I'm not bashing. I'm just saying, Prince George's is good in basketball, but there are other counties, bring it in the state of Maryland, and I don't see Prince George's winning state championships every single year.
Well, part of that is because private schools are allowed to recruit from the high school.
Okay, there you go. There you go. All right.
Move here, Rory. Move here.
I live there, dude. I live there.
Move back. Coach high school, public school basketball, and try to stop them private schools from yanking your players away, bro.
I don't know, Kev. I think I probably lived in, as a 52-year-old, I probably lived in Maryland a majority. I'm probably more Maryland than you, Stephen. I'm probably more Maryland than you.
You gonna have
more Maryland than you.
You gonna have to GTFO out of here.
You might have been born there.
You wish you was more Maryland than me, man.
I was Maryland. You know what I'm saying? I was Maryland.
You was maybe a tourist. You was a tourist.
Tourist, dude.
You just try to talk. You just try to down talk.
He's gone too far.
We got a whole documentary about basketball here.
Steven. I moved to Maryland in 1991.
Okay, how long did you stay?
1991 is when I moved to Maryland.
How long did you stay, Rory? Because you ain't been here longer than me.
1991 is when I moved to Maryland.
Come on, come back. I'll take you to the classic. I'll take you to see some. Yeah, I'll take you to the classic. We watch them boys get down.
I hear you. I'm just saying.
Come on,
Roy. This is my first night living in DC. Remember that picture? There
you go. Who welcomed you? Kev?
That was 05.
There you go. I'd been there, Kev. I'd been there.
But hey, man, we gotta wrap it up, man.
Yeah.
To close out, however you want to close out, man.
All right. Thanks everybody for joining us. All the regular fans.
You don't got like no greater synopsis to tie this thing up.
I thought I did when I said that the internet isn't real. But I'll bring it back. These guys that we're talking about, these extremely rich guys who can basically say whatever they want with no checks or balances, are not able to do these things if they are taught at a young age that the internet is not a real place. You cannot fetter these ideas in an environment that isn't real if you're taught that environment is not real. If you're taught at a young age that you should be questioning what you hear and see online, that you should be fact checking the things that you see, that there should be references when someone makes a claim, then you can defend yourself from all of this stuff and you won't ever have a Kanye West or a Kyrie. You may have a guy who's egotistical and really good at basketball and may talk a lot of crap, but he's not going to be saying anti-Semitic stuff in the same sentence that he's donating to the Tamar Rice Foundation. hopefully that summarizes the argument that I'm trying to make of what we really wanted to cover tonight. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Rory, Tate, if y'all wanted to add anything to close, please.
Rory got something to add.
I do not. I'm like, you know, it was good. It was a good discussion. I mean, I was happy with the discussion that we had today. I mean, yeah, and we didn't go too hard on Kyrie, which I definitely appreciate.
I told you we wouldn't, man. I told you it would be an honest examination of the man, and I felt like we should be critical of him. I don't think you were very critical of him, but you know,
yeah.
I was more into the talk about Kanye part. I mean, you know, I don't want to talk about somebody that just got $300 million. I want to talk about the $2.75 billion man.
The tax.
But I'm gonna keep it real. A lot of times people try to act like you don't have a position to examine and criticize the things that people do. And when they're a public figure, you're supposed to do that. That's how you keep public figures in check, is by examining what they say and questioning the things that they say. You know,
what y'all? Okay, real quick. Don't got to answer. But the other day, OBJ said, and I was actually a month ago, 3 weeks ago, right before Thanksgiving, sitting probably about a month ago now, sitting at this restaurant at a table across from OBJ. OBJ said this week, man, it's hard to live with less than $100 million. I mean, that's out of touch, right?
So out of touch, man. Like, I can't even. If I had $100 million, that would never come out of my mouth, like, ever. It's so hard to be this damn rich. How are you supposed to even get along without $100 million? You know, like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. You give me two. I'll make that stuff work.
I don't need 100. I don't need 100 to be comfortable. Get out of my face.
Yeah, wait, Kev, who's the person that, you know, we were at that restaurant in the harbor? The wide receiver.
Oh, that was
the cornerback that got his ACL, MCL torn by Bernard Hopkins. What was his name again?
D'Angelo Hall.
D'Angelo Hall. There you go. Yes. Kev said, like, Steven, this is a funny story. So Kev, like, said, hey, you know, can I get a picture? You know what I mean, with you, D'Angelo? He was like, hold on a second. No,
I said it was for the table for my mom and Courtney and all them.
Yeah.
Then he came over to the table and nobody would take a picture with him.
No, that was not what happened, Kev. You're making this up now.
That's what happened.
You asked him for the photo. You asked him for a photo. He was busy doing something at that time because there was the cheerleaders were there and stuff. And then he went on. He did some other stuff. Then he came back and said, "Hey, you want that picture?" And Kev was like, "I'm good." That's what happened.
I did say I'm good. He came to the table to take a picture with them. I didn't really want a picture. I might have said, "You come take a picture with my family."
Yeah, he said he was busy at the time.
Do I still want a picture? I never wanted it. That's why I said I'm good. I didn't want a picture.
I'm good, D'Angelo.
How far removed was this from? Was he retired at the time? Or
no, he was playing. He was playing.
So how far removed was it from his season where he had all those runbacks?
This probably like 2011, maybe.
Oh, so pretty far removed from when he was a relevant player, is what we're saying.
Now I don't know when he was last relevant, but
he was still playing.
I mean, he played for a while, but he had that. I remember that one season where it was like, damn, this guy's almost as good as Devin Hester. Like, nobody can bring him down.
That was a year. I mean, it was before his running with Bernard Hopkins. No, Bernard Hopkins. What's his name? Come on. The wide receiver. Running with
Bernard Hopkins is a boxer.
No, that's what I'm saying. Hopkins is his name though.
DeAndre Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins. Remember DeAndre in that scrimmage when he gave him a little juke and he's MCL, PCL, ACL.
Oh, I vaguely remember that.
You have to come on. You gotta. Boy, he juked
DeAndre, an old man now.
Ligaments. Yeah.
But yeah. All right. So now that we've wrapped it up, Tate, you want to take us out, sir?
Yeah, man. Thanks for tapping into the JAG2G podcast on the KnoItAllz channel. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. We went a bit long, but it was fun. 1 hour and 10 minutes. We try and keep it right under an hour, but no qualms about it. The football game is 23-14 Rams. 6 minutes left in the third quarter, so I'm going to watch the rest of that. The next 2 weeks, there are actually holidays on Thursday night, so we won't be here. I'm sure these guys are okay with that. That is Christmas Day next Thursday. And the Thursday after that, obviously, is New Year's Day. So we're planning on being back on the 8th of January with some new topics to talk about. Maybe talk about what the New Year's was like and what 2026 will bring. We don't know what we'll talk about yet, but we'll be back in 3 weeks from tonight. So, but the KnoItAllz other stuff not going nowhere. Just these days right here, the actual holidays, next couple of weeks, we won't be here. But we appreciate you guys. Look forward to you coming back because we won't be competing with football the next time you see us.
It'll be sad.
I will be sad because my team will be eliminated.
My team in pro and college will still be playing.
My team is getting eliminated this weekend. We will not be in the playoffs.
We knew that at the beginning of the season, though.
Okay, you talking a lot of trash, and y'all this playoffs hadn't even started yet, bro. Don't do yourself like that. Don't put bad juju in the air. I'm
not saying anything about my rant. I'm saying that you guys were eliminated before the season began.
All right, we'll see y'all next year.
Let's go.
Mamba out.
Y'all come back now. Here.